All right, welcome back to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. This is the second part of the live we just did. And in this live, I am going to present some tourist attraction centers in Canada. I'm also going to present how you can book hotels in Canada because we need those two, how do we call it, those information to be able to write our travel plan or the itinerary. I'm also going to teach you how you can be able to write a letter of invitation. If your family member is not writing it for you, you should learn it and then teach them how to apply. All right, just give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Minia, so over my life. Na se wunya video ni ye ebia sound enye correct. Uhu me blare. Ebia na free phone no anase mpo network. So network ni nya itimi compress it. Ema wo stream with a low quality anase resolution. Ba me kira kwan ya befa so be increase resolution. Akwa the highest quality. Na wahu me ye atime voice ni ye. Empo se stream wo website bia entreye no wahu ni ye na anye bled. Abusunya sa live na wo hwe no video ni so no. Fa won sabo screen so. What was sabo so a? Right top corner no, obo settings bi wo ho. Fa won sabo so. Afei no ebe check quality a wo streaming. To bon sa wo de e bia 480. Me be check kwan ya befa so a. Wo be ye free ho akwa 1080 pixels. A wo benya bibia correct. Abusia, sa quality na wo hu ye na fa won sabo sa quality ni so. Wo don sabo sa quality ni so a. Na afei wo bon say advance bi e wo form. Fa won sabo advance ni so. Ebe yi pixels ni nyina pie resolution no. Na about 1080 pixels ni so. Oboswa obonsa fade video na ni beti crojing eni ebeti clear ama wetimi I enjoy life ayeye. Ewo mu ana we network ni sa tekwa esa beti akọ sa 320 ana 480. Iti ewo ho ana uhumi ya check your quality ni hwade. Minia se oba me life
Back.
na se wunya video ni ye ebia sound.
All right, welcome back. That was by the way. So, as I told you, we are going right on the website to look at some tourist attraction centers in Canada, precisely Toronto. We are also going to bookings.com to see if we can get some hotels and look at how much we need to spend a night. And therefore, we come back to write our travel plan. After that, I'm going to teach you guys how to write an invitation letter so that you can write it and give it to your family members out there if they don't want to write it for you guys. All right. So just Google, as you can see on the screen, right? Just type tourist attractions in Canada, Toronto. And therefore you are going to see some sponsored websites or some sponsored tourist attraction centers popping up right on Google through bookings.com. So you can see CN Tower is in Toronto and a day or per person is 28 pounds. I am in the UK, and so you can see that they convert the money to pounds. So wherever you are they are going to convert that money for you. I'm sure in Ghana, they are going to write Ghana cedis over there. So these are some of the places in Toronto where you can book it and add it to your itinerary. The second one is the Royal Ontario Museum. It is also right in Toronto, and it's 15 pounds per person, right? And we have the Ripley's Aquarium of Canada. That is also right in Toronto, 29 pounds. We have the St. Lawrence Market. That is free of charge. So you can book that one and visit that place free of charge. We have the Casiloma, and that is also 23 pounds. We have the Art Gallery of Ontario, and that is also 17 pounds. And we have the Nathan Phillips Square, and that is free. We have the Young Dundas Square, that is also free. We have the Hockey Hall of Fame, that is 14 pounds. We have the High Park free, Toronto Zoo, 14 pounds, Ontario Science Center, 12 pounds. So you can see most of the places are free of charge. So this is what you're going to do. You can just book one place that you pay and you add like 3 places that you're not going to pay to your plan. At least you should visit like 4 tourist centers since you are going for a tour. And so this is very beneficial. So you just type it right onto Google, right? Tourist attraction centers in Canada, Toronto. Let me zoom in for you guys to see very well. Let me zoom again. All right, so now you can see very well, right? Just type tourist attractions in Canada, Toronto, and you're going to see a pop-up from bookings.com. This is much easier than you going to the website. So if you want to book it, that means you have to go to bookings.com to be able to book these ones. They are saying no reservation. That means you cannot reserve. You have to pay it upright, right? You have to pay the money at once if you want to book it. And so no reservation. Sorry, no reservation cost. Oh, all right. So no reservation cost means if you are reserving, you are not going to pay for it. You can reserve it and later pay for it. All right. So no reservation cost. I thought they said no reservations. All right. So it's no reservation cost. That means if you want to reserve, you are going to pay nothing until you get there before you pay something to them. All right. So just get this one down and let us continue on. The next website, then I have to take you right onto the bookings.com for us to see some of the hotels over there. So let me click on the bookings.com. So we get there. So that is how bookings.com is. So we have the stays. Stays means hotels you can stay. Flight is you booking a flight. We have flight plus hotel, car rentals. If you want to rent a car when you get to Canada. All right. So let's focus on the accommodation, the stays. So they ask you search hotels where. So I just typed Toronto. Let me zoom. Let me zoom out. Okay. So I just typed Toronto. All right. Then they're going to ask you the in and the out. So you search the date that you want to go. So you click here. There will be a calendar pop up. So I just said 4th April 2024 to 11th April 2024. Right. Then they are going to give you the available hotels that you can book at that time. Some of the hotels you have to pay, others too you can, how do we call it, reserve. So you have to note that. Now we have the Hotel Inn. This is just closer to the falls in Toronto, and per night is, you can see, £107. And so that means if you're going to stay there for 5 days, you're going to pay around 500 and something pounds. And so that is that. They have cheaper hotels there. So you have to scroll down and get cheaper ones. Some are even £88. You can see this. And I already told you that I'm in UK, so they're going to convert it to my currency here for me. If you're in Ghana, they're going to type it either in dollars or in Ghanaian cedis. All right. So you just search it on bookings.com to be able to book some hotels in Toronto. So if you're going to Canada, the part of Canada that you go in, that is where you have to search book tourist attraction centers at the same time, hotel, right? Because you cannot be sleeping in another province, then move to another province for tourist centers. It is going to be a bit of inconvenience. So if you're going to Ontario, Toronto, then it means you have to book tourist attraction centers over there at the same time, book hotels over there. So you can do that using the bookings.com. All right. Now we know how to book hotels. We know how to book tourist attraction centers. Let me just click on one to show you something. Okay. So this is a three-star hotel. Three-star hotel. Um, all right. So they said this property has no availability on our site from 4th April. So they have other ones that is available at that time. So you have to note that most of them are not available depending on the date that you choose. But one thing I will tell you is if the date is too far, we are currently in January, so it will be very difficult for you to select a date like April and get available hotel bookings because they don't know what will happen during that time. So if it is very difficult like that, what you're supposed to do is to book closer dates. Then you have to cancel it. Some of them, you look at their return policies or the refund policy, you can know that a day to the date, a day to or 24 hours to the actual date, you can cancel it and they're going to refund your money to you. So if it happens like that, just refund it. Another way that you can book is also reserve it using an ATM card that you think you don't have much money on it. So you tell them that during that day they have to just subtract. And so even if you don't cancel, they are not able to subtract. So that one too, you can do it that way. All right. just to be able to be sure if you get a visa so that they don't deduct their money without you going to Canada. So that is how you have to look at it. All right. Now let us go straight to what we are here. The reason why we are here is to be able to write our travel plan. So this is how do I project this to a bigger screen? All right. So travel itinerary. Now this is for somebody going for a tour. The itinerary for somebody going for a tour. After that, I'll be doing itinerary for somebody or a travel plan for somebody going for a family invite. Now you give a topic, travel itinerary. Now, purpose. You said my purpose is to take tourism trip to see. So you start mentioning the names of those tourist attraction centers. So what Niagara Falls, CN Tower, Royal Ontario Museum, Casaloma, all in Toronto, Canada. So that is the purpose of your visit. Now, here is what I plan to do. September 16th, I am going to take a flight from Accra, Ghana to Toronto, Canada. So that is the first day, right? That means if you're doing the visa application, the in should be September 16. So that means that day you are taking the flight, right? All right. Arrival to Canada. So 17th September, arrive in Canada. I plan to stay at Holiday Inn Niagara Falls, right? So when we went on the website, the bookings.com, you saw that hotel over there. So if that is where you plan to stay, you have to indicate it that this is where I plan to stay, Holiday Inn, closer to the Niagara Falls. Then 18th September, I plan to visit the Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls. All right. So if you plan to visit that place the next day, you have to state. Then 19th September, I plan to visit CN Tower in the morning, and in the afternoon, I'm going to visit Casa Loma. All right. Then September, I repeated the 19th. It should be 20th. 20th September, I will visit Royal Ontario Museum in the morning, then go for shopping in the afternoon. Then 21st, I will leave Canada. So there's a mistake over there. I have to correct that using my how do we call PowerPoint. All right. So this is how you are supposed to write it. So it's just basically you explaining whatever it is on your application letter into how do we call it? Something like this. We are not done. This is the spread of the days, right? How we are spending the days in Canada. Now the cost, the total cost or trip cost planning. Now cost type and estimated cost. Something like flight ticket from um okay, so it's Australia to Canada. This one I copied it from somebody, so I was supposed to edit it. So you can say flight ticket from Ghana to Canada, right? Then you estimate the price. So you look at some of the flight, how do we call it, cost. So you can estimate like 2,000, how do we call it, Canadian dollars. All right. Hotel stays, if it is 2 nights, $500. So the person did it 2 night, $500. But if you are doing yours 5 night, then you have to stay. So you have to go on the bookings.com, look at per night how much the hotel is charging. And if you are sleeping there for 4 days, you have to multiply it and estimate it. All right. Then the tourist attraction centers, how much you are going to spend over there. So you list all the tourist attraction centers and convert them. So you go on the bookings.com, look at the various. You saw those, some are 14 pounds, 28 pounds. So you combine everything. If it is about 200 pounds, then you state all the tourist attraction centers is going to cost me approximately 200 US dollars or pounds or something, right? You have to convert it. You can even do it Canadian dollars. I told you that as for the trip cost, I copied it from somebody. So the person did it in a US dollar. So you can do yours in Canadian dollars. Just do the conversion. All right. Then food and taxi travel, the person did it $200. So you can also do your own estimate. After that, you give the total beneath that in all, I'm going to spend like this. So that means your bank statement, you should have this money plus additional in your bank statement. So if all amount to 2,000 Canadian dollars, that means you have to get more than that in your bank statement. So with this, if you are how do we call it? If you are spending like 3,000 Canadian dollars, at least, because hotel is inside, plane ticket is inside, everything is inside. If you have like 40,000 Ghana cedis, it is cool, right? Because flight is inside, and the flight should be a return flight, right? You have to multiply it. Please make sure you multiply it. So it should be a return flight. So return flight is inside. All your hotel nights are inside. You have to also add. I left that space to type in the shopping, but because of the time, I couldn't queue in. So type in shopping over there. So if you are shopping, you have to estimate, because you say that probably you'll be going for shopping or something, right? So you have to estimate that I'll be going for shopping. All right. Then please note, this is your conclusion. So you're telling the visa officer that please note that in the event I do not obtain a Canadian visa from time to blah blah blah. So this one, you are going to state that please note, in the event I do not obtain the Canadian visa on time or in time before my all the dates, right? Or the bookings, the tourist centers, the hotel reservations expire, you are going to book another one. So that is what you have to do. But the person who did this one was, I think, traveling from Canada to USA. So the person said, in case it expire, the flight ticket and everything, they are going to do another bookings. So that is what you are supposed to also write. That should, in case I don't get a visa within those estimated time, I'm going to book another hotel and also reserve another, how do we call it, tourist dates. If you do that, they are going to consider that and give the visa to you. Let me give you another scenario over here. All right. So this is also another itinerary for somebody going to visit a family member. All right. Most of these things, if you Google, you're going to get samples, right? Going to get samples of people. People posted their itinerary on the internet. So you're going to get samples. Look at it. If it's um, equivalent to what, or it's similar to what you intend to do, you just do some editing, add some and remove some. All right. So purpose of visit, the person says, my purpose of visit is not only to visit my husband and his family, but also take a weekend trip with him to Vancouver, Lake Louise, and also Sylvan Lake. Okay, Sylvan Lake. Below is a detailed series of events we plan doing during the proposed stay. Please also see the itinerary. So August 29th, 2024, the name is Amma arrives at Vancouver. John, being the husband, meets her and then spend a weekend in Vancouver. That is the 29th. And so in that during that weekend, they will take a sky train from YVR airport to Burrard station, and they will stay at the Blue Horizon Hotel. The address of the hotel booked and everything. So this is very detailed for somebody going to visit a family member. So you can look at it, just communicate with your family member. If you are going to stay at their house, if you're not going to stay in a hotel, then that one you're going to say, I'm going to pick a taxi from this to the person's house. Then you just give the address. So just be very vigilant and make corrections to what this is just a sample of somebody's how do we call it, itinerary. All right. So the person stated that hotel already booked. Please see below the proof. That means the person is going to add a proof of the booked hotel. All right. August 30th, 31st, they will go see Chinatown. That is, they will take a sky train to the stadium Chinatown station. They will go to Robson Street, take a sky train to Bura station. So just about how they are going to travel to that part. Okay, so this is quite detailed. September 2nd to 5th, John, being the husband, will go to work whilst Amma stays at his house until he returns. After that, they will either stay home or go for shopping or dining, visiting family, etc. Then September 6th, Amma will take a trip to another lake with John's family. Um, September 7th, Amma and John free weekend, so they are going to either stay home or go out for shopping. Then September 18th, 8th to 12th, John goes back to work. Amma stays home until he returns. They stay home or either go for shopping, visit family, etc. So they will keep on repeating because that is the usual daily activities. So you keep on repeating. So I think this person is going to visit a family member for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So you can see that it's very broad as compared to that of the tourism. So this is quite different from the first one. All right. So like that, so you end. At the end, you always give a conclusion. That please note, this is an information to the visa officer. That please note, in the event that I do not obtain a visitor visa in the time to be able to book a flight ticket for these days, we will simply move all these events to a later date. So just telling the visa officer that if your visa don't come in time, then you are going to book another, or you're going to schedule the events to another date, because Amma is not only going to visit the husband, but Amma is going to also visit some tourist attraction centers. And I'm sure Amma is going to book those centers. So if she doesn't get the visa according to the time, then she has to book another tourist center. That is what Amma is trying to tell the visa officer. If you do that, it facilitates them to decide that, okay, even if they give the visa to you, you are still going to book other tourist centers as a reason for moving to Canada. All right. At this point, if you have any question about the travel plan, so travel plan is not an essay form, it's just like you bulletin, right? You bulletin. So I'm sure that John is going to sponsor Aman. That is why in this family instance, they didn't state how do we call it, the cost, the estimated cost, because they are going to stay home. Amma is going to eat in the house and everything. They will just go to those tourist centers. So I'm sure that they don't need much. And so that is why. But if you're going for tourism, I will advise that you draw your how do we call it, travel cost plan for them to know how you're going to spend your money over there. All right. Let us look at how to write invitation letters. Also, if you're inviting a family member, do I have something over here? All right. Let's look at this. So this is a general overview of how you can write an invitation letter. So where I have the red ink, you have to just substitute the appropriate information over there. So the date, you have to enter your date. So this is a form of letter, an official letter, and it should be an essay form, right? So the Canadian High Commission, the address of the embassy, and the country of the embassy. If your family member is in Canada inviting you from Ghana, they have to address the embassy in Ghana, because that is where you are going to do your biometrics. All right. Kwejo, every I'll come back to your questions. Okay, let me finish this one. So the address of the embassy should be the embassy in Accra, the American embassy in Accra. Their address, you have to search on Google the embassy in Accra. Go on their website. You're going to see the address over there, probably in Accra, but I don't know that part of Accra. So look at their digital address, blah blah blah. Then you add Accra, Ghana. All right. The country is Ghana. All right. If you're in Dubai too, you have to do the same. If you are in Dubai and somebody is inviting you from America, then sorry, from Canada, then you have to address the Dubai, the American embassy in Dubai. The subject, letter of invitation for you, the applicant, your full name as mentioned on your passport. So if you are Kwekumenu, so letter of invitation for Kwekumenu. This one, Kwekumenu, is the one in Ghana, not the one in Canada. So you, the one in Ghana, you should write your name over there. So a letter of invitation for Kwekumenu. All right. So dear visa officer, but please note, this invitation letter should be written in a form that it is the one in Canada writing for you. So they address as if they are in Canada. So even if you are writing it for your family member in Canada, you should write it as if they are writing it for you. Okay. You shouldn't write it that you are writing it for yourself. All right. So, dear visa officer, my name is, so that one you put the one inviting you, the name of that person. So if it is your auntie or your uncle, so dear visa officer, my name is Timothy Amankwa, right? I am the, then relation to you, the applicant in Ghana. So I am the uncle of John Mensah, who is in Ghana. Do you get how it is? So my name is Timothy Amankwa, and I am the uncle of, or I am the father of, or I am the brother of, I am the friend of. Then you mentioned the person in Ghana. So I am the friend of, I am the uncle of, I am the spouse of. Then the name of the one in Ghana, you just input it over there. So you can give a screenshot. You can just screenshot whatever I'm discussing and do it accordingly. I am a so the current status of the person in Canada. So if the person is a student in Canada, I am a student in Canada. If the person is a permanent resident, I am a permanent resident in Canada. If the person is a citizen, I am a citizen in Canada, right? And I live at, so you give a complete address in Canada. So wherever the person is living in Canada, you just write it over there. So I live at house number, blah, 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 Toronto, Canada. So you write it accordingly. All right. My household has a total number of, so if you are going to visit a family, then a person writing it has to, right? Let's say you are a child going to visit your parents. So your mom is there, your dad is there, your siblings are there. So if your dad is inviting you, your dad has to write the number of people living in the house. So my household has a total number of 5 people or 3 people. And I work as the how do we call it? The occupation of the one inviting you. So I work as maybe a teacher in Canada or an electrician in Canada. So even that one, they are saying that write your job title, the company, and location. So I work as a nurse, then the hospital will come in Toronto, Canada, right? Earning. So you should write your monthly salary. You need all this information for the government to know that you, the one inviting somebody from Ghana, you are well equipped. You have somewhere staying. You are working in Canada. You are in on a status, a valid visa. You are earning this amount of money. So if the person comes, they will not be stranded. You'll be able to take care of them. That is why all this information is very necessary. All right. This is also to inform that I am inviting, then the person will come. So the one in Ghana, John Mensah, born, the date of birth on the passport, you have to write it. So John Mensah's date of birth, and currently residing in Ghana. So the exact address of John Mensah may be Besiase, right? PO box or house number, blah blah blah. So the exact address of the applicant. So I am inviting John Mensah residing in Besiase, PO box, blah blah blah, Ghana, to Canada. I am inviting him to Canada for a temporary visit. I'll be hosting. Then John Mensah has to come. So I'll be hosting John Mensah at my resident. That is my house. From so the date that John Mensah will be arriving and the date he will be leaving. So from 2nd September to 27th September, if John Mensah will be spending like 3 weeks. So you see, you have to do that. Now you have to leave a space. Name of applicant. So John Mensah, now the person wants to argue that John Mensah is even working in Ghana, and so proving that John Mensah will leave back after he comes to Canada. So John Mensah has a strong economic, financial, and family ties to their home country. When we talk about family ties, John Mensah is working. He has family in Ghana. He has a plot of land, some properties that is going to bring him back to Ghana. That is what we call about family ties or home ties. So the one in Canada, your uncle inviting you or something, is trying to argue to the visa officer that you, John Mensah, that he is inviting you, you are even well equipped in Ghana, and so you go back to Canada definitely. All right. He or she, so John Mensah currently works. Then the job title come as a teacher, the location. So as a teacher at Besiasi DA Primary, and earns 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. So the income has to come, right? With which they will afford to stay in Canada. So with which he will afford to stay in Canada. He has visited some other countries. If John Mensah has traveled before, then you, the one inviting, you can include it. So your uncle can include that. Oh, even John Mensa has gone to Dubai before, or he has gone to somewhere. So if you have a travel history, John Mensa has a travel history, then the uncle can just input that he has traveled before, he has visited American, UK, Australia in the past. But if you don't have that, you have to ignore that sentence. After that, find attach a copy of my proof of funds, right? Status, sorry, proof of status to Canada. That means your uncle has to prove status to Canada. So the BRP or the PR, permanent resident or something. So note, you do not need to provide your bank statement if you will not be financially um, responsible for the applicant. So if you, the uncle in Canada, you are not going to sponsor John Mensah, you don't have to prove bank statement. That means John Mensah has to prove enough money in his bank account that he will be able to book a flight. He will be able to take care of himself in Canada and also return back. But if you are going to sponsor everything, his flight and everything, then you need to prove your bank statement. You, the one in Canada, you need to prove your bank statement, as well as the one in Ghana has to also show commitment, because he said he is working, right? He is working. If he's working, he should have something in his bank account. And so you have to let the one in Ghana also show a bit of commitment. So the bank statement is going to be two. All right. Should you require any additional information, you may reach me by, then you write your number, right? So the one in Canada, you, the uncle, you give your number, so your information, maybe your telephone number or email address or everything, that one will come down. So you say, reach me by the contact information provided below. So sincerely, then your signature comes, your full name of the inviting applicant, that is the uncle in Canada or the auntie in Canada. So the full name comes, the telephone number of that uncle or the auntie in Canada, and the email address. So this is how your uncle or your auntie or your father or your mom or your sister, your sibling, your friend can invite you to Canada. So if you contact them and they are not ready to write it for you, some of them are not learned, they cannot write the letter. So you watching me, this is an advantage for you to be able to write the letter and send it to them for them to sign everything. So you just type it, Microsoft Office document or something like that, send it to them. They are going to print it and then sign and also PDF it for you and send it to you so that you can add it to your visa application form. So that is how we write an invitation letter for a family invite. All right. The last thing that I will discuss here is also somebody inviting another person. All right. Now, this one, they are saying that letter of invitation and solemn declaration. All right. Now, the person just addressed the Canadian Embassy immigration section. The address should, you have to address wherever the person is going to do the biometrics. So if the person is in Ghana, you have to address the Ghana embassy. So that is the one inviting you, right? So let's say this is a family inviting their daughter. All right. So Timothy, and my wife. So the name is the XXX and the date of birth into bracket. So Timothy, then your date of birth will be in the bracket. And my wife, Angela, then the date of birth comes, residing at Toronto, Canada. So that one, you don't just write the address or the town. You have to write the full address. Sorry. You just don't write the town. So your full address, so your house number and the town and everything. Maybe Toronto, Canada. Your phone number comes, um, your wife's own to come, are both Canadian citizens. So you just telling them that both of you are Canadian citizens. If you are temporary workers or students, you say we are both students. You declare that, so you are declaring your invitation for the family member. So we solemnly declare as follows. We make this declaration in connection with a request for a visitor visa for John Mensah. So the YXXS is for John Mensah. So the name will just be there. So we make this declaration in connection with request for a visitor visa for John Mensah. Date of birth comes into middle, ID number or passport number comes, who is a citizen of Ghana residing at Besiase, Ghana, his telephone number. Purpose of trip for John Mensah is to attend my wife graduation ceremony at the university. So this is just like the husband and the wife. The wife is schooling, and so the wife is coming to graduate, and they need their daughter to come to Canada and join them. And it's a form of family invitation. So you see, this is also another scenario. All right. So the daughter is coming. So let's replace John Mensa by saying Abigail Mensa because we're talking about a daughter. So Angela and Timothy, they are inviting Abigail Mensa, their daughter, to Canada to attend the graduation ceremony of Angela, who is Timothy's wife. And Angela and Timothy are both in Canada. All right. So you see how it is written to attend my wife's graduation ceremony at the University of date. So the date, this date is 15th, how do we call it? 2015. So you have to edit that one, the address and everything of that um, school will come. And the web page of that school also comes. All right. Now, why? That is the one from Ghana. Anytime you see why, that is the one in Ghana. So Angela Mensah will come to Canada around. So the date Angela will come and stay approximately 3 weeks. We will make sure that why, that is Angela Mensah, returns safely to Ghana on then the date on or before a day specified in the temporary residency. That is your visa application. We hereby undertake to provide living accommodations. That means they are declaring that they are going to provide the accommodation for the person they are inviting. So living accommodations for Angela Mensah at our residence, that is their house, at Toronto, Canada, also the address of the house, Canada. And we will cover all the expenses of housing, food. We will also be responsible to cover for all travel expenses, medical insurance, transport, entertainment, and other related expenses whatsoever incurred during Abigail Mensah's stay in Canada from or around. So the time that Abigail is coming is 1st to 21st July or June 2024. So you see, these are just samples. So you have to edit them and make it suit whatever you are going to do over there. Now, you, the main applicant, sorry, you, the one inviting, the man inviting. So the man want to state what he does. So let's say Timothy worked as a fixed operation manager since September 2011 from this company. My annual income, including my salary, commission, bonuses, approximately 20,000 Canadian dollars. Address, phone number. Then my wife is also a worker and a student at the same time. And then she has graduated from the university. Then the name of the university, she did College of Dentistry and also. All right. So 4 people are living. So you see, this one too, the husband and the wife, they want to state the number of people living in the house. So don't forget, always cover that. How many people are living in the house that the one you're inviting is also coming to stay there. So you have to state the number of people in that house. All right. So my people are living, 4 people are living in our household, myself, my wife, and my wife's parents. Right. And the name of the mom and dad. So you just write their date of birth and everything, if it is applicable to you. All right. And they are all permanent residents of Canada. My wife and I sponsored them at, and that sponsorship is still in effect. All right. So that was just an addition. So we make this solemn declaration. How do we call it? Consciously. All right. Consensuously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect as if under, as if made under oath. All right. I can see it very small, right? Because I'm projecting from an external. So forgive me for that. I cannot see it properly. All right. So we make this solemn declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. We make this declaration in support of a proposed application for a study permit of, then the wife comes. So sorry, proposed application for a study permit for and no, so that is the name of Abigail Mensah, and for no other improper purpose. All right. Please see the attached photocopies of our driver's license, passports, my wife's grandmother's birth certificate. I think these are just additional something. All right. So if you are finding it difficult to see, you can just zoom it on YouTube, but I cannot zoom it over here. So it is very difficult. Please contact us if you require any further information. Your kind consideration to this request is greatly appreciated. All right. It's very, very small, small, small. So if you cannot see it properly, what you're supposed to do is to make a screenshot onto your mobile phone. Then you zoom it so that you can see properly, because I am even struggling here and I know you also do same. All right. So after that, you just sign. This is also another way to write an invitation letter for somebody visiting you in Canada with the aim of attending a graduation ceremony or something. At this point, I will end here. I have taught you guys how to book tourist attraction centers, how to book hotels, how to write itinerary or travel plan for tourism, travel plan for family invite, and also how to write a family invitation letter. All right, let me just take it off. All right, so I am here for any questions right on YouTube. We have 20 more minutes to go. We've done 40 minutes. We have 20 more minutes. So if you have questions, you can just write it down there and I'm here to help you. If you just join in, we've already done the visa application video. So after this, you can go and watch that video. We've also done for the conference. So if you're not interested in the tourism or the family invite, you can go and watch the video for the conference. All right. Kojo Efriye says, is it possible to make a table from detail in addition? Yes. Yes. So if you're doing the travel plan, right? If you're writing the travel plan, the itinerary, you can write it in a table form. This is not an essay. This is just bulletin and you how do we call it? You just outlining something. So you can do it in a table form, you can do it in a bulletin points. All right. Hassan says, how much do you pay? How much do you need in your bank account before you apply for tourism visa? So you have to write your itinerary, look at how much you're paying for hotels, how much you're paying for flight, how much you're paying for tourist attraction centers, and just estimate. All right. I don't know your plan. I don't know the number of days you spending, because if you're spending 1 week, that means you'll be spending 7 days in a hotel. If somebody is going for 3 days, the person will be spending 3 days in a hotel. So I cannot quote an amount for you. Just do that exercise by yourself. All right. If you have any question, you can just comment. You can just comment. I'm still waiting for you to give comments. If you don't have it, then we end this live. All right. Our next discussion is going to be how to apply for cheap colleges in Canada. And right after that, we're going to look at colleges. Right after that, then we move to the universities. Then we do student study permit application. Then we can now move to the work side of Canada before we go to US. Yeah, Alicia says, good evening. Yes. So I'm waiting for questions and answers, right? I still have more minutes here. So if you have any question, you can just comment. If you don't have it, then we can close for the day. I'm still waiting for you guys. All right. As I'm waiting for you, if you want a resume, a cover letter, a CV, personal statement, or any form of documentation that iTips and just can provide to you, yes, I'll give that service, right? So a CV, I can write it for you. Personal statement, I can write it for you. Cover letter, I can write it for you. Apart from that, don't contact me for any service like visa application. I don't give visa. The embassy gives. So go and do your application to the embassy. School application, the school will give you the admission. So go and do the application. And I'm here to facilitate you, guide you how to apply. That is why I am here. So don't contact me for those services. But if you want a resume, I can do it for you and send it right to you. So that one, I am available. All right. Could you say tips? If I write invitation letter on behalf of my friend, just sign. I will send to the embassy here. Yes. So your friend will just sign. Then you will send. You will not. you will not send it to the embassy. You are going to include it to your itinerary, right? When the first section, we made mention of some documents you need to present doing the filling. So your application, visa application form is your first document, your passport, your bank statement. So you going for a family invite, you need the invitation letter. Somebody going for tourism needs some tourism, how do we call it? So you see all these things, you just add it to the online application before even you make payment. You get it. So you have to note that. Now, if you go on the visa portal, sometimes they don't give slot for the invitation, the document they ask you to present. So if they ask you for itinerary, if you are writing that plan, the travel plan, you can just write that PDF, another page of that same PDF. You can include your invitation letter and everything over there. Or you can even begin with the invitation letter, then the itinerary follows, right? Yes, you can do that. Which way can we book tourist site in Canada? I already did it in this same video. So just scroll back, right? Adams, probably you were not here. Just go back to this video that you're watching. Just go to the beginning of the video. I gave you some websites where you can book tourist sites and hotels. All right. I'm still waiting for questions. I have some few more minutes to leave YouTube. Then I'll give TikTok some 30 minutes for the benefit of the doubt. Um, um, So if you're on Facebook, you can also give a comment. If you're on Twitter, you can give a comment. If you watch this video later, I may not be able to answer the comment. So if you come here, people do write comments later because if they are watching the video, they think I am currently on the internet. And so they'll be like, Tiff, I am here. Tiff, but they know that it's a dead match, right? So if you come later and you give a comment, I will not be able to answer you. So please try and join our live sessions. And those on TikTok, I am advising you. I'm using this opportunity. You're watching me as a medium of advertising that we are doing these discussions on YouTube. It will get to a time I'll just schedule my live without even projecting on YouTube through the phone, right? So I'll just do the live. Those who come to watch, then we continue just like that. I'll only come on TikTok when I want to do live pertaining to only TikTok. So please note that and be joining our discussions. All what we did, we cannot do it right on TikTok. And so you have to come here on YouTube to also enjoy it. It's the same data you are watching on TikTok. So I don't know why you'll be there and be commenting. I don't even see the comments. Adam says, do you have a WhatsApp group? No, I don't have a WhatsApp group. Yeah, I don't have a WhatsApp group. There's no bigger family like people subscribing to YouTube channel. You see me, we talking, right? If you need comments, you just type it over there. Tomorrow I come do another presentation, whatever you need. I come. If I create a WhatsApp group, people post some stuffs that are not related to whatever we are doing. The group becomes noisy and it becomes unprofessional. So I'm not going to create a WhatsApp group. Um, all right. So I believe you guys really understood whatever we did. That is why questions are not coming today. All right. So I do appreciate your time. And I will urge all of us to continue making this a habit of learning and doing things ourselves. Because if you go to an agent, you may not be able to pay for their services. And even how they handle issues, it may not be to your liking because there are some agents, if they are doing visa application for you, you even ask them, I want to know how it is going. They don't want to tell you, right? So if you learn all these things, it's going to help you. You have your own IRCC. You are able to book hotels. You are able to book tourist attraction centers. You are able to do things by yourself. And if you move to Canada, you will be able to do it for your family members. All right. Can one study with a tourism visa in Canada? You can only do short courses, but you cannot school for more than 6 months. So it's just kind of, if you're going to do just a short program, like you're going to write an exams or you're going to do a 3 weeks program, then you don't have to go and apply for a study permit. No, you just need that tourism visa to do that short program. But if it's an actual school, like a university or a college, You don't have to be on a tourism visa or a tourist visa. You have to apply for a study permit. All right. Um, I'm still waiting. I have 11 more minutes to go. So if you have any question, you just comment. I'm here to assist you. All right. You're welcome, Alexis Brown. You're welcome. All right. So this comment came from Facebook. Yeah. So wherever you're watching me from, you can comment right on from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm going to see the comment using this. This software is able to also project to Instagram. So I'm trying to set that one up. It is only TikTok that says I cannot because of their community policies. And that is why I'm still encouraging people on TikTok to make it a habit to join us on either one of that platform, either Facebook, YouTube, or something, because I cannot be doing and holding the phone that at the same time showing the screen whilst I am talking professionally here. So it is going to go against you people on so you cannot see my screen, and that is very unfortunate. You have to learn how to join us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. All right. Please, what? Please, will T bill be as? I don't know T bill. Please, Ramatu. I don't know T bill. What is T bill? I don't know T bill. I only know bank statement from a bank, but try and explain it. Is T bill also obtained from a bank or something? What is that? What is T bill? All right. Abdul Sharif says, what about tourism without invitation? You don't need invitation. You just go for the tourism. So you have to book your tourist centers. Were you here when we were doing the discussion or you just joined? Please watch the video before you ask questions, right? You're going for tourism. You don't need invitation. You just have to book your tourist centers. So we did two discussions, one for tourism and one for a family invite. So the person going to visit a family member need that invitation. All right. If you just join the YouTube, on YouTube, you are able to watch from the scratch. So you have to scroll down. Just click on the video. You're going to see something over there. Just swipe it to the left side and you're going to begin the live and watch from wherever we started. Okay, 8 more minutes to finish your questions. Then, how can we apply Job Bank? Just go on my YouTube channel. I have videos about Job Bank. Go and watch it. You'll be able to know how to apply. Okay, Treasure Bill. So this is what you're supposed to do. Treasure Bill is constant. It doesn't run, right? It doesn't run. And so it is not accepted. You should get a statement that is running. Like they need a 6 months bank statement. So January, the account should be running. I took this in, I took this out, I did this, I did that, right? The account should be up and running. February, March, April, May, June. So, right. So for 6 months. But I know treasury bill or treasure bill, it just how do we call it? Constant. It's just sticked over there. Maybe you pledge 50,000 Ghana cedis, then there will be like after a year, there'll be an increment or a benefit or something. So you cannot use that. It's not good. It's not good. However, you can withdraw that money, deposit it into your savings, and start running it. Then that one will be accepted. Yeah. Um. Suppose I travel with the tourist visa to Canada. Please, can I apply for study permits whilst there? So this is very, very how do we call it? It's very, very technical. Some people are able to get it, others are denied. Yes, I know a couple of people who went on visit. Um, they got schools, they applied for schools, applied for a study permit, and they were given the study permit. Other people too went and they were denied. They asked them to come back to Ghana and do it right from their home country. So I don't know. I don't know either to say yes or no. All right. Will you need a bank statement for Canada work permit? We are doing how do we call it? Tourism visa. So why are you asking this? Work permit. If it's an open work permit, you need a bank statement. If it's an employer specific, you don't need it. Uh, Is it possible to apply for a tourist visa and later apply? I think I've answered this, right? It's quite similar to what the lady asked. The travel itinerary, the same as cover letter. No, the cover letter is something like the letter of explanation. You see, I made 3 presentations, right? One was declaration or something. So that is quite a cover letter or a letter of explanation. But as for the itinerary, it's just you bulleting your points over there. I have message. I have sent you messages on your email for a week, no response. Yes, because I am very busy. Yes, I'm very busy. Whatever you want me to do for you, even if it's a CV, I will not be able to do it. That is why I've not been able to respond. If I respond, it means I am ready for you. So you have to be patient. I am doing research for you guys. I am working at the same time. I am doing my own thing at the same time. And so I cannot combine. I have to just get some off days at work and just try and answer people for CV and those things. So you see, I just draw my own uh, timetable for the week. So if I have a free time to do the CV for you, I will respond to your email. I just joined. How much do I need? So if you just join, watch the video before you ask questions, right? All right. In what way can I upload the documents? That means you didn't come to watch the video. You just came to ask the question. Do you want me to use 1 hour to teach you how to upload documents when we just did that one? So please go and watch the video, how to apply for the visa. We just finished and we are discussing questions relation to that. In relation to that. So go and watch that video and you know how to upload the documents and everything. All right. Um, if you just joined, please don't ask any question, right? Just watch the video before. Just watch the video before. We have 3 more minutes to go. The video is very, very important. So watch the video to your understanding before you try and ask these questions because all these questions were covered in the video. All right. So let me end here since you hey, the questions are still coming. Um, I mean, what I mean is, I have all the money in my treasury bill investment, but not enough in the normal account. So I told you that you can withdraw the money from the treasury bill and run it in your savings or your current account. You cannot use that treasury bill account to go and apply the visa. Just accept that it is static and not running. They don't accept such accounts. So please listen to what I said, that withdraw the money and run it to your savings. Just go and withdraw the money. January, deposit like 5,000 Ghana cedis. February, just be running it like that, right? And it's going to help you. If you pick this advice, it's going to help you. All right. Can someone outside Canada apply for LMI jobs, or is intended for those in Canada for visit or residence? So it's for foreign workers. So anybody who is a foreigner can apply, irrespective of where you are, whether you are in Canada or any country, you can apply. The only difference is if the person is in Canada, they will consider the person before you, but it doesn't mean that you have to get to Canada before. All right. So at this point, I will end here. Tomorrow, as I told you, we're going to do how to apply for some cheap colleges in Canada. We're going to start with one brilliant school, and we look at some couple of schools later. Then, right after we're done, we go to the universities and also look at that. Probably I might teach you how to write SOP, statement of purpose. Student CV, I don't know if I can teach that as well. Not anything that I can teach here, right? Some of them are very technical. We need softwares to be doing that, right? So I can give you samples of it, but just to teach you would be very difficult for me to project on the screen. And so in that case, I might do it completely and just give you a sample that this is how a student CV is, so that you can do a look at it and do similar ones. All right. So let us stop here. We've done 1 hour. Leave all your questions for tomorrow or leave it in the comment sections. Another time I may answer them. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.